Hello, it's me, Mira, and this is the part 2, day 2 of our Mount Apo hike via the Santa Cruz Trail. I learned so much from this experience, and I was also injured along the way, so keep watching as I continue my story and share the lessons I learned from this hike.
Hello, Ma. Ma, hindi na ako uulit dito. Hirap. First and last, Mount Apo.
So, we were told to wake up at midnight to get ready, and we grabbed our breakfast and lunch while attending the second orientation. This was the first sign we saw from the campsite. The cold weather made the air feel thin, and it became challenging to catch our breath as we ascended. And now came the boulder phase, the most challenging part of the climb to the summit. According to our guides, massive volcanic rocks, thin air, and the cold forced us to slow down, focus on every step, and truly brace ourselves. At this point, my flashlight died, and in complete darkness, one of the tour guides handed me this headlamp light when I needed it the most. The boulder phase humbles you. It strips everything down to the essentials, endurance and respect for the mountain. This is where Mount Apo truly tests not just the body, but especially the will. The higher we climbed, the colder the air became, catching in our throats, draining our breath, and demanding more rest from everyone. The lack of sleep also began to take its toll. With barely any rest, our bodies moved slower, and even simple steps demanded effort. We stopped at a section of the boulders where everyone could sit and wait for the sun to rise. We were told we'd stay there for an hour, but after just 10 minutes, the cold became almost unbearable. One by one, we pulled out our thermal blankets, and this was the moment they were supposed to be useful. Or so we thought.
Hardest climb of my life.
We stayed there for an hour, and the thermal blankets did help, but doing nothing, just sitting still, made the cold feel even colder. Without movement, the chill seeped in deeper, and sometimes the hardest part is not pushing forward, but simply enduring where you are.
Hi! Ganito kalakas ang hangin dito!
Shout out, Mama. Walang signal kagabi, hindi ako naka-message. Sorry agad.
And here's the most feared and talked about 87-degree boulder phase. And despite the name, it's not a perfectly measured 87-degree wall, but it feels almost vertical when you're standing at its base. So the guide told us just not to look down, and so we didn't. At this point, it was already 10 degrees Celsius, and what makes this boulder phase especially challenging is the altitude. The air is thin, breathing is harder, and even short bursts of effort can leave you gasping. You often need to pause, not because the climb is long, but because it's just intense. Whew. So Mount Apo has 3 peaks. So it's Digos Peak, Mother Peak, and Kidapawan Peak. So as we move closer to Digos Peak, everything begins to slow down. You're no longer climbing to conquer the mountain. I don't even believe in conquering the mountain. You're climbing to meet it. Lake Venado is a place where you rest knowing the summit is close, just like a kilometer away. This is the quiet space between effort and your final push to the first peak, which is Digos Peak. And in this moment, standing just steps away from the summit of Mount Apo, you realize the mountain didn't test how strong you were, it revealed how far you were willing to go. Standing on Digos Peak, we watch a UFO-shaped cloud above us, unaware that this rare formation would be featured later that day in a Davao local news report. In that moment, it felt like the mountain was sharing something extraordinary with just the 10 of us. From Digos Peak, we made our way to the second one, which is Mother Peak, around 800 meters away. But at this altitude, distance stops being measured in kilometers and start being felt in every step. The wind grew stronger, and we had to lean into a rock just to keep our balance. Only 3 out of the 10 of us continued on to Kidapawan Peak. I chose not to proceed. Mentally, I wanted to go on, but physically, I knew it wasn't a safe decision. Now we begin the descent from the summit. We followed the same route we took on the way up, retracing our steps carefully as we made our way back down. It's not easy. It wasn't easy at all. The descent was actually scarier, to be honest. When we climbed at 1 a.m., it was dark and our limited light only showed the immediate path ahead. In daylight, we could finally see just how difficult the route we had taken really was. I am so grateful that it didn't rain on the second day. God allowed the weather to clear, giving us the chance to reach the peaks without additional challenges on an already demanding trail. Here are some of the realizations that our organizer Ate Jelly sent us after the hike. Reaching the summit isn't just about strength or endurance, it's about the team you share the journey with. And together, we faced the heavy rains, cold fogs, strong winds, hunger and thirst. Yet through it all, what kept us going were the laughter, stories, and lessons we shared along the trail. Hiking Mount Apo deepened my connection with the people I journeyed with and made me feel comfortable and supported in their company. As we approach the final part of this video, I wanted to emphasize the importance of wearing the right shoes. As mentioned in part 1, I wore road running shoes. During the descent through the rainforest, this made the journey significantly harder. I had to exert much more effort coming down, and I lost count of how many times I slipped and fell. The pain became intense as my previous injury from Nagpatong Rock in Tanay resurfaced, and the final 4 kilometers were extremely difficult for me. It's embarrassing to admit, but every step felt like torture. I cried for nearly 2 hours while walking. I'm deeply grateful to the organizer and 2 of my friends who helped support me along the way. Sharing this isn't easy, but that's exactly the point. Wear the right shoes. Thank you for watching. I pray your hike to Mount Apo is safe, meaningful, and rewarding.